Hey and welcome, I am Lily and this video is part of my larger acne series. If you haven't seen those videos, please find the playlist up here. In this video we're going to talk about some of the physical therapies and topical products that we can use to heal the scarring that's caused by acne breakouts. If you've had bad acne like I have, you have probably had acne scars. I don't want to manipulate your feelings of hope and frustration to get views, so I want to be really clear from the get-go. Scar tissue is a thick mess of connective tissue which is made up mostly of collagen fibers. Acne scarring is generally caused because the intense local inflammation and immune response associated with a localized infection, aka a pimple, has damaged the tissue surrounding the infection. Immune cells, like some white blood cells, kill bacteria and other invaders by using chemicals like hydrogen peroxide, which damages and can kill your own tissues too, which is a small price to pay to avoid a fatal infection. But these damaged tissues then have to be removed, and those tissues are then replaced by thick, less elastic collagen fibers, aka scar tissue, which creates the characteristic pitting that's associated with acne scars. These types of scars are pretty difficult to treat, but I have had them before on my cheeks and they have gone away. Another type of acne scar is the surface skin discoloration that may or may not come with a small nodule that's underneath the skin surface, and that takes a pretty long time to fade. These scars, generally speaking, respond a lot better to treatment. I have had a lot of those scars as well, and they have also all gone away, which is why prevention of acne scars is much better than cure. I'll assume that you've watched the rest of the acne series, which is covered in almost painful detail the diet, lifestyle, and supplements that can go a long way to preventing further acne breakouts. Beyond all that, it's really important that if you do have an active pimple, you do not pop it. I say this as a complete hypocrite who has popped those little mofos way too many times. But the fact is, when you squeeze and compress them, especially if they haven't come to a head yet, more likely than not, the infection implodes into deeper layers of your skin. Seriously, you are not the exception here. You really can't just pop it a little bit without imploding the whole mess. And once the implosion happens, your body has to ramp up the inflammation and the immune response even more, which results in more tissue collateral damage and more thick, inflexible scar tissue that has to be laid down. It also adds up to chronic inflammation, and that inflammation increases the risk of clogged pores in the same area, like some miserable, self-perpetuating cycle that's ruining your social life. If you have a pimple that comes to a head, let's face it, we'll be realistic, none of us are leaving the house with one of those. Sterilize a needle and barely poke the tip from a sideways direction. Let it drain naturally, no squeezing, no popping. If you have time, put an ice cube on the area on and off for a few minutes to ease the influx of inflammation fluid, and don't pick at it with your filthy little fingers. Along the same lines, try to get out of the habit of touching your face. And again, I say all of this as a completely hypocritical face toucher, but seriously, we are officially playing the game of avoid clogged pores at all costs, and this is rule number 1. So let's move on to healing what we're already dealing with. Diet and hydration is pretty darn important. I don't want to leave these considerations out, but considering the sheer number of videos I've already done on this topic, I will simply suggest you watch them if you have questions about dealing with diet and hydration. Basically, when you're dealing with acne scars, you are aiming for a diet high in anti-inflammatory and antioxidant nutrients, which will protect your skin from further damage while supporting your immune system, which enhances healing. You want your skin to have the support it needs to consistently renew itself, so long story short, eat colorful, whole plant foods as much as possible. Moving on to a more hands-on topic, physical manipulation and treatment of scar tissue. As a massage therapist who regularly works with people who are recovering from major injuries and surgeries, I have seen firsthand the major changes physical manipulation of scar tissue can cause. Since we're dealing with, small blobs of scar tissue that are located in the soft tissues of the face as opposed to, incisions or torn ligaments, obviously treatment of acne acne scars is a bit different, but it's also similar in a lot of ways. The whole thing about scar tissue is that it's thick and inflexible. Your body is an elegant, tedious being in every single way except this. When tissues are damaged, your body fixes it with scar tissue, kind of like a kid would fix a hole in the back of his pants using a hot glue gun, while still wearing the pants, of course. If left without direction or help, you end up with a gunky, dysfunctional mess with questionable blood flow. So here's some ways you can help your body functionally lay down scar tissue and soften the scar tissue it has already created. A great way is dry brushing. If you watched my dry brushing video, you'll know that a major reason why I do it is to create a small amount of stress in my skin, which keeps collagen and elastin activity relatively uniform. Additionally, dry brushing encourages blood flow through consistent movement of tissues that otherwise may not be stimulated regularly. What regular blood flow and collagen and elastin activity does in an area with lots of scar tissue is it keeps the scar tissue nourished and functioning, so it essentially doesn't turn into a collagen raisin that yanks on your upper levels of skin. Also, through regular manipulation and movement, those tightly amassed collagen fibers can slowly start to let go of their grip on one another, creating more space and flexibility in the area, which lessens the appearance of the scar. Keep in mind that I'm talking about a long-term change. You're not gonna dry brush one day and then wake up the next and bingo, no more scars. I'm talking about a 6 to 12 month process of being consistent before you start to see major results. Along the same lines as dry brushing is gentle massage. Again, the massage and tissue manipulation causes a very mild stress that can soften collagen attachments in the area and promote uniform skin texture. There are a few options for how you want to do this, but one of my favorites is in a warm bath, and obviously you would use the water to lubricate the gentle massaging movement. You can also do this in the shower. If you have perhaps been lucky enough to age out of your acne and you just have the scars left over, or you've found a moisturizing product that you've been able to use without causing further breakouts, you can use those to do this skin massage as well. We'll talk about some of my favorite products in just a few minutes. While you do this massage, I think it would be wonderful if instead of using it as a time for hating your skin, for acting like such a traitorous fucking clown, you just purposefully use it to realistically say, skin, I get that we are not exactly perfect, but I appreciate you for keeping out all that pathogenic bacteria that could kill me and for preventing all of my body fluids from leaking out. I think what you do is amazing, skin. Thank you. And I'm committed to being nice to you. Sorry for all those years I burned the shit out of you with Retin-A. Again, remember that this gentle massage treatment is a long-term solution and it'll take at least a couple months before you start seeing significant results. But the good news is that this type of self-care is wonderful for not only acne scars, but for anti-aging as well. Next up is exfoliation. Dry brushing is a great way to exfoliate, but if you obsessively watch all of my videos, thanks by the way, you know that I'm like an exfoliation addict, and I like to wet exfoliate my face too. I use a nylon scrubber that I bought from the health food store when I was 17. They last forever. If you don't want to leave your house, you can also buy one of those things on Amazon after you send them an email asking them to stop advertising on the right-wing neo-Nazi fake news website Breitbart. Activism and manual exfoliation. I love it. I will briefly mention here that yes, there are many avenues of acne scar treatments available at your dermatologist's office as well, be it microdermabrasion, chemical peels, or laser resurfacing. While I do get annoyed at their condescending dismissal when I ask them if that level of skin trauma is really safe considering what we know to be true about cancer initiation, and to be fair, many of those fancy laser machines aren't required to undergo long-term testing before they're approved by government regulatory agencies, but hey, I'm just their patient. I'm just paying the rent for their office. I mean, who am I to expect legitimately thoughtful answers to the questions I ask about the shit you want to charge me to do to my face? Whatever. I mean, I'm not bitter about it. Anyway, I haven't had any of this stuff done. And to be perfectly honest, due to both my rational brain and my meticulously paranoid, suspicious hippie brain, I don't really feel 100% comfortable doing this kind of stuff that they offer at the dermatologist's office, but I certainly understand if someone chooses to go this route. The tiny potential of heightened skin cancer risk, for which I haven't seen any proven evidence, is probably worth the life experience improvement one could have from healed acne scarring. So if you want to go for those options, go for it. No judgment here. If you want to keep it on the less chemically induced skin resurfacing track, and if laser beams freak you out like they do me, let's talk about some helpful topical treatments you can do at home. I'll start with perhaps the least exciting, which is vitamin E oil, because I think that we've all heard of this one. But vitamin E is a potent antioxidant, and it can definitely soften scar tissue. For sure, use it if it works. In 1/3 of all people, it is known to cause dermatitis, and let's be realistic, it's oil, and that doesn't really do us acne-prone people any favors anyway. So, next up, one of my favorites is hyaluronic acid. I've really been enjoying using hyaluronic acid, which I buy in gel form. And I make sure that I get the vegan version, which is not hard to find. I apply my hyaluronic acid gel right after I get out of the shower or after I've spritzed my face with rose water. The gel takes a long time to absorb and it makes my skin very slick, so it's the perfect substance to use while doing my gentle massage. Hyaluronic acid draws moisture to itself, so it makes your skin look nice and full and plump. And I haven't yet heard of any major problem that using hyaluronic acid can pose, though I'm sure someone will post in the comment section below that it makes your face melt off, and that it was put here by the reptilian aliens to make us more susceptible to mind control. Hashtag raw foodists. But yeah, I like it. It seems to work really well. I have also been enjoying using vitamin A masks. One product I've really been loving is this vitamin A infused clay mask. I use it in the afternoon after I'm inside for the day because the product makes you more sensitive to UVA and UVB induced sun damage, so be careful. Vitamin A works by increasing the speed at which skin cells renew themselves, thus getting rid of surface scars. This speedy turnover is great for scar and all-around skin improvement. Now, I only use this product 1 to 2 times per month, as clay masks, generally speaking, are quite drying and actually end up causing my face to produce more oil. Certain essential oils can also have a really lovely effect on skin healing and renewal. Jasmine, rose, geranium, and lavender essential oils are all effective for treating acne scars and encouraging skin cell renewal. Rose hips and their oil are also very high in vitamin C, which is a vital skin antioxidant. But again, depending on your current skin sensitivity, the use of oils may be a no-no. Additionally, I do want to briefly discuss the use of topical antioxidant-rich products. Our skin doesn't have a digestive system, obviously, so just because something is high in antioxidants like vitamin C or E doesn't mean that that antioxidant is going to make it through the stratum corneum, which is the top layer of your epidermis, and that it'll be absorbed or utilized locally. Until there's more research into the exact issues associated with each case, I kind of think of it like this. If I'd feel great about eating it, I can try using it on my face and seeing what happens, keeping in mind that it may disrupt my face pH and it might result in some more breakouts. That said, through trial and error, I've had some really great luck using aloe vera gel. Several times a week, I will use the green tea leaves that are left over from my morning cup of tea and put those on my face. I've also experimented with matcha powder, papaya flesh. I've even gone as far as smearing the fiber left over from my kale and turmeric juice onto my face, all of which my skin seems to love. Just do be warned, turmeric will turn your face orange. Not so great for public appearances unless it's Halloween and you're dressing up as everyone's favorite neo-fascist belligerent Cheeto. Had to. Sorry. Not sorry. And it may sound strange, but I've had a lot of luck using vitamin C powder, which is super cheap from the health food store. It's supposed to be an orally taken vitamin supplement, but I mix a very small amount of the powder with a small amount of water and then apply it directly to my skin. I don't use a lot. It's a very dilute concentration, but when I wash it off in the shower later, my skin feels amazing, and I've noticed it really speeds up the healing of my acne scars. So to recap, consistent and gentle physical manipulation of scar tissue, along with supportive, nurturing use of topicals, combined with occasional use of slightly harsher topical therapies for speeding cell turnover, will help your acne scars to heal. Definitely don't forget about diet, which you can learn more about here, and don't forget to speak kindly to your skin and the rest of your body. It does matter. Everyone responds to appreciation and positive intention. Everyone, except that guy. So thanks for watching. Questions and comments go down below. Make sure you subscribe and click the little bell so you'll actually know when I post videos. Until next time, make better choices for yourself and take really, really good care. I will see you soon.